Y'all, interview can really change your perspective of a person entirely. An interview can either make you strongly dislike a person or really find a person really endearing. Or really, you can really warm up to a person strictly off of an interview that they do. And I think that's what happened when I saw the interview with Offset at the Breakfast Club. That was probably one of the best, most refreshing interviews I've seen on the Breakfast Club in a while. To really see another side of a person who's categorized as a mumble rapper, a glam, like a rapper that's just flashy. They talk about all of the money and jewelry and the clothes and girls that they got. Offset is characterized as one of those type of artists because he's part of the crew called the Migos, and they rap about all that fly, young, flashy, fly stuff. But in this interview, I saw a lot of substance from that young man, and he really got a great spirit about him, a really good spirit about him, and I found him very endearing and very extremely likable. And I never found him dislikable, like nothing like I don't like him or anything like that. But I'm saying some people may have felt turned off from the allegations of him cheating on Cardi B, and some people feel like the Migos do horrible interviews altogether. But by himself, he did a fantastic interview. Props to the Breakfast Club because it really says a lot about the interviewers. The interviewers, when they can get a person to open up and be comfortable to share certain things that they don't share at other platforms. Offset has done plenty of interviews before. I've seen him show a lot more personality than Takeoff and Quavo. I saw that. I saw that he was more relaxed and more down to earth. It seemed a little bit more. He was more willing to open up to the media. And I think this interview that he did with the Breakfast Club, I think that was I think it was great promo for his album because I think a lot of people are going to buy his album strictly off of the fact that they really liked him as a person in this interview with the Breakfast Club. If you haven't seen this interview, I think you all should definitely check it out. In the interview, he talked about a lot of things, growing as a man and talked about the importance of growing up as a man and being faithful to your wife. How he was scared that he lost Cardi. How those were real life situations. He had to grow up as a man and recognize his mistakes and never commit those mistakes again. And how he talked about his life as a father and how he really, enjoys being with his children. And he opened up he was very vulnerable. Talking about the relationship that he doesn't have, the non-existent relationship that he has with his father, and how he wanted to have the relationship that he has with his kids with his father. And when I saw that, I saw a man crying out to really reaching out to his father. That really touched me. It really touched me that he really had no malice towards his father. That he really he doesn't say he's not the type of person. Because a lot of people, if their parents weren't around or their father wasn't around, they say, I don't need him, good riddance. They wipe their hands clean with him. He better not call me, ask me for nothing because he wasn't there all the times that I needed him. But it was refreshing to see a man say, you know what, he made mistakes. Things happen, but I'm willing to give it a second shot. I'm waiting for him. He can call me anytime. I'll be there for him. I give him whatever he needs. I'm blessed. I have a good life, and I'm willing to start over with my father. Just hearing him talk and talk about the love he has for his children, it makes you really can separate an artist from their persona. And an artist becomes more, what's the word I'm looking for? They become more, not human, but just like everyday people. You really started, he's just like everybody else. He's an everyday person. He's just a rapper. And on a rap artists have their personas that they have to put on when they're performing, when they're making his music, when they're in their music videos, and they have the real them. And I really believe we saw the real Offset. And it speaks to why Cardi B feels the way that she feels about that guy. That man seems like a real stand-up person. Again, people can put on fronts for interviews. I'm not saying that he didn't, but he seems like a real stand-up person with morals, principles, and values. And he's growing as a person. He acknowledges the mistakes that he made. And I can say a lot about a man who acknowledges that he's done wrong and owns up to the mistakes and tries to move forward and correct those things. And that's what I'm seeing. That's what, I got from him. That's the vibe I got from him from watching this interview. If you haven't seen it again, check out the interview with Offset. Plenty of times I think I've seen I've seen rappers getting interviews and they are so caught up in their persona. they can't be themselves, and it comes off as awkward and disingenuous. Like it just not genuine at all. It just comes off as fake. And I've seen the Breakfast Club interview several artists where I'm like, get this dude up out of here. Like, he's trying to be something he's not. He's trying to force this whole image on us. But Offset was really comfortable being himself. And I really appreciate an artist who is comfortable being themselves. And one of the biggest platforms that you can be yourself, the Breakfast Club. He could have went on there and talked about how much jewelry he got, acting a fool, and counting money like everybody else does. He ain't do none of that. He really spoke real things that really a lot of people can resonate with, no matter what background that you have. I also appreciated the fact that during this interview, he wasn't up there cussing and being, belligerent and cussing every other word. He let a few slip out of the heat of the moment and the passion that he had and talking about his family and the crazy situations that he's been through and how he's blessed to be in this position, and he doesn't want to go back to negativity. He doesn't want negative energy around him. So when he was passionate and talking about that, he let a few things slip, but he wasn't dropping all these F-bombs and, being all disrespectful. He seemed like a real stand-up guy, was real humble, and just a real cool, calm, and collected person. And I think that was like, I really appreciated that, man. I really like that interview. I'm really going to check out the other interviews that he did with Hot 97. Did I see that? I haven't seen that one. And he did one where he was eating the chicken wings. It's a show on YouTube where they eat hot wings. The wings get hotter and hotter as questions go on, and they got a glass of milk there with the person, and they ask intense questions and cool questions, and it is really a great interview platform. What's the name of that interview segment that they do with the hot wings? I can't think of it. I think it's with Complex, I believe. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I got to check out that one too. I saw some clips of him doing that, but yeah, I'm really gonna check out that young man's album and see what he's talking about. I heard he really touches on some definitely deep topics. It's a lot more substance than what you would normally get from a Migos album, although this is his solo album, so he is his own person outside of the group. But again, an interview can make or break your perception of a person. Like I said, I always noticed he was more talkable, seemed more likable, more approachable than the other Migos. He always seemed like he really wanted to be there, more than the other two artists. And I think as he's getting more comfortable in the game, he's opening up more and sharing more of himself. And he seems like a real genuine person, man. I got good vibes from him. And I wish him nothing but the best and nothing but success on his album. I know he worked really hard on it. And yeah, man, he just seemed like a real cool person, like an everyday person. He seemed like a dude I'd kick it with, for real. Like, he seemed like a dude I would kick it with. And I can't say that for a lot of entertainers, a lot of rap artists, and all of that. I can't say that for a lot of them. But he seemed like a dude I would hang out with. And yeah, man, just seemed like a real cool person. Like I said, that whole segment about him wanting to reach out for his father, I felt that. I always had a great relationship with my father. So I was always blessed in that department. But I know I have several of my friends who never had a relationship with their father. So, I could feel them on that, because those relationships matter. That father-son relationship, it matters. So I'm glad he's there for his children. I'm glad he's learning and growing up as a man. And he gave great responses, man. Great responses to a lot of stuff. He didn't get a typical rapper answer. Okay, I got, my baby mama better not have no kids, no man around my kids type of thing. He said, I wish him the best. As long as my children are safe, it's fine. And I'm married. I'm focused on what I got to do and living life, trying to, grow as a person. And I'm like, man, that was real, man. That's real. Talking about all the crazy stuff he's been through and how, he's not in it to sell these kids dreams and sell them like, he's not in it to make it seem like violence is the thing to do. He's in it to show kids a better way and to help the community in a positive way, man. And I appreciate that, man. Y'all go check out Offset, man. Peace.